So the newest episode of South Park has been delayed. Yeah, this sucks. So after a surprise announcement yesterday, it was confirmed that the second episode of season 27 was delayed a week, and instead of premiering on July 30th, it will be airing on August 6th. However, they did release a sneak peek of the upcoming episode to hold people over. Hello, if you're new here, my name is Gilly Monster. Please take a second, like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and let's get into it. So this is from the Daily Beast. It reads, the follow-up to South Park's premiere, brutally mocking a naked Donald Trump, has been delayed. The president hit back last week with a statement from a White House representative calling the show fourth-rate and his depiction a desperate attempt for attention. Now, this week, a teaser has been uploaded to the show's YouTube page informing fans that there will be no new episode. Comedy Central will play an encore of the season premiere in its place. The Daily Beast has reached out and has not received any on-the-record response. The 27th season itself was delayed 2 weeks due to issues surrounding the Paramount Skydance merger, which ended up getting approval from Trump's FCC the day after the premiere. Creators Trey Parker and Matt Stone signed a $1.5 billion streaming deal with Paramount just before the Trump episode aired. Still, this strangely timed break seems unusual. While Trump has threatened other shows will be next to be canceled for criticizing him after Stephen Colbert's Late Show, the White House statement last week settled for a series of insults that stopped short of threatening revenge. That admission from the White House's response was out of step with Trump's pattern, considering how brutally the episode mocked the president. Parker and Stone actually toned it down as they wanted an even more graphic version of Trump's naked character. They compromised by putting eyes on Trump's thing to get around the network's request that they blur it. And while weekly TV shows take a week off all the time, a hiatus following a one-episode season premiere, especially one as explosive as last week's, is highly unusual. That said, Parker and Stone showed absolutely no remorse for their brutal Trump takedown, and even before the teaser for the next episode dropped on Tuesday, "We're terribly sorry," Parker sarcastically told a crowd at the San Diego Comic-Con panel Thursday after Trump's White House fired back at them.
Did you anticipate the reaction today? Have you been following it? What do you make of it?
We're terribly sorry.
Fair enough.
So let's talk about what we know so far. From the trailer released, you can see a few things. Cartman is clearly impersonating a Charlie Kirk type figure and yelling at other students, talking about how Bebe hates America and loves abortion. For those who don't know, Charlie Kirk is a mostly online right-wing political commentator who engages in that college debate bro activity that like the Ben Shapiro's and the Steven Crowders do, of like going to colleges, getting these probably barely 18-year-olds on camera and essentially debating their positions to make someone come off a certain way. I really don't like this activity because I feel it gets debating on easy mode. You're like a full-grown millionaire adult and you're picking on college kids for clicks. It's the definition of go and pick on someone your own size. And to be fair, he has, but that angle seems to be what this episode is going for. It also seems to touch on the ICE raids that have been all over the news, with Mr. Mackey of all people being somehow roped into this. I'm thinking maybe the angle of this is that there's been stories of masked ICE agents showing up at graduations and schools and essentially either going after kids or even their family and wearing a mask to prevent identification, because even with their current immigration laws, I feel like they even know they're skating on thin ice.
Boo! You stink!
But yeah, with Mackey being the school guidance counselor, I feel like the school angle is going to be thrown into this. And also, last but not least, we have Trump and Satan at some sort of dinner where you can hear a speaker saying how great the president is while he's trying to cop a feel on Satan under the table, showing that this plot line is still very relevant moving forward. So now it's question time. The season was originally delayed due to issues over this merger, but why are we getting more of these delays? It's no secret that South Park episodes are made in 6 days, which is part of their secret sauce, and now they could say so topical and on top of issues. If you haven't, check out the documentary on South Park, 6 Days to Air. It's on HBO Max, and I'm pretty sure you can find it on YouTube. It's really interesting, and it shows how down to the wire some of these episodes get. For a comedy show, there's a lot of stress, but I'm wondering how different it is this time. It's no secret that South Park has a love-hate relationship with Comedy Central and Paramount, really since the beginning, but it appears to have really soured as of late. Just a few issues I can think of off the top of my head. Stuff from the past is like the Tom Cruise episode, seeing as Mission Impossible is one of Paramount's biggest franchises. The 200th and 201st episode with their depiction of Muhammad, something they had done before in the past. And South Park, I believe, has only missed like one deadline in 2013, and that was due to a power outage. So what's different? There was info going around before this announcement saying that South Park creators had no idea what they were going to do for the next episode, which, if you were keeping up with the trailers, was surprising, considering they made this whole teaser 3 months ago with stuff including Diddy, airplanes crashing, a war with Canada. People were even wondering online if maybe there was like a special that was being converted into episodes or if they had this season pre-cooked. But nah. At a Comic-Con panel recently after the premiere of the last episode, Trey and Matt said they were essentially approached to make a trailer for the upcoming season, and they just threw stuff together and here you go. Some people might not like that, but I'm kind of here for it. I think it's hilarious. I do think they need to keep around this mecha Diddy. Some people online are inferring that Paramount Comedy Central got in the way of this and delayed it. I'm not necessarily so sure, considering they had this announcement just like 4 days ago saying they had no idea what they were going to do next. I think maybe they had a creative outburst with the last episode and they just needed a little extra time to see what they were going to do moving forward. It wouldn't surprise me if they had some sort of different plan originally, but due to a lot of the things I talked about in the last video about the premiere, totally changed course and did something different. I just think they need some time to regroup and probably recognize that this is the biggest splash South Park has made in a long time, and they want to continue to capitalize on that splash. They're making moves, and they seem to be making them in a rather calculated way. Also, I think it's so funny that their promo video has a portion at the end saying you could watch it on Comedy Central and stream it on Paramount Plus. As if those aren't like the companies that a good percentage of the jokes are targeted at. Also, it's like one of the last unique things that they own. So for their own sake, they really have no choice but to promote these jokes at their own expense. Either way, I'm really pumped for August 6th. I'm okay with the delay. I would rather a good episode come out than a super rushed one. There have been South Park seasons in the past that just seem like they're just trying to put something out, and the results have been mixed, but that doesn't seem to be happening here. I'm more excited for this show than I have been in a long while, and I can tell other people are as well. So now all we can do is wait. I'm personally planning on pulling some sort of all-nighter next Wednesday to have the video ready to go, maybe early in the morning, just about the episode, my thoughts about it, etc., because this is one of those shows that begs to be talked about. You don't last almost like 30 years with no one bringing up your stuff, and South Park always knows how to stay relevant. That's all for me. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you when I see you.